just replaced now. We replaced this one. You know, the one, the blown out cap. This is a 047 UFarad. And I'll show you where you can get one of them at. You guys want to look that up. That's the one that is the main firecracker one. You know what that is? What we did, we put the leads and we just soldered them together. This is not going to touch that thing. I'm worried about that. So it's not going to touch it, so I'll show you guys to make sure. Because the lid will push down on it, but it's not going to touch that thing to fry it. So the lid will fit on this. So I'll show you guys in a second. It doesn't look like it's going to touch. It's not going to touch it. See that? So I make sure you have to pull these up a little bit up sometimes. So you don't want anything to touch a component. Such as these. You don't want them to touch each other, but I soldered them together. This is a film capacitor. But when you put the lid on it, it'll be fine. So the only thing I can't get to is the 1 UFarad 600 volts, and I'll tell you why. The one I got, the large capacitor, goes to that one. It's too big, and I'll show you why. It is too huge. If we can get something very close to it, let me know. But I'll show you how large this guy is. This is the one UFarad, and I thought it was small, but this one is too large to fit in that thing. You can't get it in there. I tried that. That's the only thing. But the rest of them, we got all the capacitors are a lot smaller. They're the same size. Some are a lot tinier than this. But this is one I can get in with the 47 UFarad, the one with the blowout capacitor. And I'll show you what it is. I'll show you guys to look this up. If you want to look this up right now for this one, the 1 UFarad, this is more than 600 volts. But it is I think it's about 650 volts. That's what I got these for. But take a look at this one. This is the one I was going to put in the 1 UFarad, but this will not fit. It's too large. If I had something if I had a lot smaller, like something like that. But I found these on Digital Key, and this is the cheapest way to do it. But we can always find one of these and replace it later on, but it's not hard to get to. You can always desolder that and make sure everything's good. It's not going to touch anything. So this is a film capacitor. It's the same brand name as that one. I'll show you guys where you can go look this up on Digital Key. Let me find you the information. This is I'll show you the 350 volt one we got on there right now. And let me show you what this one is. This is the one you guys need to look up. That's the one with the medium cap. That's the one I put in just now. This is the 047 UFarad, replaced with this broken cap. This is the one that popped out. And that's the one is 600 volts. That's what it is. This is the one is 047 UFarad. So I replaced it with a 0. It is actually 0.47. It's the same thing as that. So we can't touch that one because that one's too big. This will be fine if it's that size, but it will definitely, I put the lid on it a while ago before I solder it. It should work. I'll show you guys the demonstration. We can put it over it and show you what it works. And the other one you see right here, the blue cap, is the main firecracker cap. And you know the main firecracker cap. And I'll show you with this one information. She is 350 volts. I got the right one. You can find this cap on Digital Key, no problems. Take a look at that up. That's the one, the blue one you see in the middle. The big, large blue one. That's a pretty nice size one. So those caps are pretty nice, and you can get them to work. And it's got the right position. The priorities, the negatives on this side. So where the arrow's pointing that direction, just like this guy here. It was actually lined up like this when I did. Mostly, it's definitely lined up just like this. It was actually sitting like this side. And it's definitely, it wasn't the other way around like this, because that would have been kind of crazy. So it was more on this side. You guys seen the videos I just saw a while ago today. And it was more, when the arrow points out, that's what you want. This is that's the positive side that goes that direction. And it looks like an arrow that goes that way, like a car like a car turn sign. So she's looking good, and nothing's going to touch over there. So we need to get something right here. If you guys ain't got any parts of that, let me know. This is a 600 volts, 1 UFO. Those are hard. I hope these don't blow. But mostly, I got the main component. This is a big one. And this shouldn't blow very hard because it has a lot of bolts to it. And I'll show you. You guys need to go look up the yellow cat one. It's the one. Just go to digital key. Look this one up. You guys take a look. It's supposed to be 650 volts instead 600 volts, but I went for 650 for this. I went higher. But you'll find it under 650 volts, and you guys will see this. So I want you guys to take a look at that. It's a film capacitor. It says you can install the way you want. It doesn't have positive or negative. It says it'll flow just like regular does. That's what this one does. And now we gotta do the rest of these capacitors, and they're all small. They're not big. You guys seen the videos of it. This is the one I got too large for this one. If we can get something very small to it, 600 volts, let me know. Put it down below. This is a 600 volt one. If you can find the 600 volts for this one, let me know. And I usually can install it right underneath it and get to it, and usually do. But this should be okay. This is the one with the firecracker one that blew that small one across the way. And I might have to go get the other cap later because I clipped it off and it must have flew somewhere when I just did. But if it's not in the radio, I'll just have to flip it upside down. Something will come out and find it. But it flings somewhere when I clipped on the side right here with a blow. This type cap, I actually clipped the back cap off, the one that blows, and it must have shot across the room or something. If we played it on the floor, it'd be awesome. But I'll have to look for it later. But this is what we're going to do. The rest of the things we got to replace. This is a 1 UFO type condition here. I don't know how many volts that is. We might not mess with it. This is another 600 volts. So we could probably put it under there, but we found another 600 volts. That's another one. I don't know how we're going to get in that one. But mostly, you probably could fit in this kind of fuse here. Or avoid this area here. But sometimes you might link it up somehow. I don't know. This is another 600 volt capacitor here. I don't have one of them. We probably might not mess with that. Then we got another capacitor here. Let's move this out of the way. This is a 2.2. So this one is 2.2 UFarads. And this one is 160 volts. And we have to place these two. Another twins. I call them twins for the another. This is actually, I should have both of them. It's the, how many UFarads is that? It's the same as the other one. I think this one is a, I'm trying to figure this out. It is a, it's a 1 UFarad. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's actually 1 UFarad, 160 volt. These should be a lot smaller when we do. And that's great. And we got this other one. This one is, let's see. That's 350 volts. Is that it's 4.7 UFarads. We might have something for those. I got almost all the capacitors for this whole radio. And the other one's 10 UFarads. There's a 10 UFarad over here somewhere right there. What I usually clip the leads off of them to the top and probably solder it pretty easily. And that should be easy to do with that one. And these are the ones, are the top ones, the 1 UFarad, 650 volts. If you find something like that, let me know. At least we got the firecracker to replace the one that blew that little small one. This was the firecracker cap, the big one. And it came pretty nice size. And we got another one over here. I'm trying to figure this UFarad is. But we got them all listed. We'll have to look at this one here. This is a small U-apparent one. I can't tell what this is, so we'll have to look at it later. Probably be more of the same. But this is a 61. And we don't know what this one is. We'll have to look at that later. Could be the same size as the other one. It could be mostly a 1 U-apparent type thing. If it has the word 16 on it, that's how you could find out if it's the same thing as the other one. Because if it has a 16 on the other one, then we know it's the same thing. Move this light out of the way so take a look. If it's a 16, that's how you know that's a 65. But it's kind of small. It's probably going to be more like a 10 U-apparent or something like that. We don't know what they are. So it's different, but this one we're trying to figure out what this one in the corner is. It could be, oh wait, we got something under there. It looks like a 1 U-apparent, so it is a 1 U-apparent capacitor. Looks like I can see a 1 U-apparent, and it could be a 160, is it? But I see a number of 1 U-apparent in the corner, so that's a 1 U-apparent capacitor, and it could be the same thing. That's what we're looking at, and we got a lot more. And that's all the capacitors we can play with. But some can be underneath these things. But that, the only thing that's how we do. I'm looking around. So, and there's another one right there underneath this one. This one's underneath this one. We don't know what this one is. But there's one underneath there. But we might have to mess with that one. But it is a... trying to figure out what this one is. But this is one here. Let's see. Okay, we're back again. We're trying to figure out what this one is. It could be a 1 U-apparent, it could be 47. There's a lot of things, but this is a small one. But mostly I'm trying to figure out what all the capacitors are, because some of those manuals on the internet, they don't show every capacitor they have. Especially on CB tricks. And could be a 1 U-apparent. We'll have to find out what that is later. We're still repairing the whole Robin. It's hard to tell. The only way you can look at it, if you have one of those dentist mirror things, it will tell you what it is. But it does not have anything like a label. So I'll have to look at that later on. But mostly the ones with these yellow caps are the problem. But that's the cheapest way you can do it. But the large one will not fit in this system. If you want to link something to get it fit somewhere, it might have to be in the middle of this thing. You have to link some kind of long board underneath it. And sometimes that might work. But you guys saw that huge one I showed you. So at least we got these replaced today. These two. These are the best ones we can replace right now. And we got a long ways to go to replace the other ones. There's a lot more in here you guys can see. But these should be easy to get to when I get some time. And that's what I'm saying. This is 362. Knoxville, Tennessee, getting on down. This is the robynT-123B. And catch y'all guys later. 362. Knoxville, Tennessee, getting on down. These doodles are all over me right now. They get kind of really they do that a lot of times. So this is the robynT-123B. The robynT-123B, that's what it is in Bravo. Sorry, got interrupted by the dogs. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee, getting on down. Catch y'all later. Hope you guys loved the video. And we'll catch you later off the key.